Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Nikk, and I have a music tutorial for you today. We're going to be focusing on FL Studio's Fruity Limiter, and we're going to be working with the compressor section here. So let's get right into that. I'm going to play this sound for you, okay? And we're going to be looking at this graph, okay? And we're going to be looking at the ground level of the signal that we have here. And we're going to be looking at the highest level of the signal, which is these peaks here, okay? We're also going to be looking at the dB meter here to help us also understand how much dynamic range this signal is actually taking up. We're going to play the sound. After we listen to the sound and just get a little bit of visuals here on the display, okay? I'm going to stop it after. I want you guys to really focus that on this side, and I'm going to play it one more time. This thing is taking up a lot of dB. It's going from like 24 to like 15. Take a look at the green, at the yellow bar bouncing up and down. And it gets really low down here. So right now the sound is taking up way too much dynamic range. It's almost 10 dB of dynamic range being taken up by the sound. Okay, so if the lowest like part of the sound is around here and it's going all the way up here, we need to stop that from going all the way up here. We need to lessen that. So we need to bring down the peaks, okay, to about 18. We're going to save 3 dB of room here, okay? So let's do that. Now, I'm going to go over what each knob does. So, the threshold knob right here tells the compressor any part of the signal that is above this line is going to be affected by the compressor. The knee knob tells the compressor, do you want to start at full compression, which is all the way to the right, 100% compression knee, okay? Or do you want to, at 50%, slowly incline your way to full compression, okay? Slowly rise to full compression. If the knee knob is to the middle, it is off, it is disabled. But you can also further, you can going to the right accelerates, but going to the left actually slows, okay? So remember that you can slowly ease your way into compression, full compression, or speed your way into full compression, okay? But the full compression is set by whatever number you pick here for the compression ratio knob here. So we're going to do a 5:1 compression ratio. Okay. Guaranteed on this one, we're going to do that. And I want the compressor to be at full compression from the start. So we're going to turn that knee all the way up. All right. We're going to come back to the threshold soon. What the attack knob does is tell the compressor, when do you want me to start compression? So you set that to your liking. Okay, sometimes you might not want to catch every peak. You might want to catch a peak that's like 3 peaks away, or maybe 5 peaks away. So you just tell the compressor when to start in milliseconds, and that'll happen. We also have the release knob, and the release knob tells the compressor when to stop compression. Okay, so once again, take that and apply it to your signal, because not every setting is good for every signal. But I will give you a tip. If you want to get the small peaks like these, not this whole body of a peak, but like just the small ones, set a short release time. Okay. Now, what the sustain knob does is make sure that the release doesn't start too soon, okay, or doesn't release too soon. It slows up the release, okay? So keep that in mind, okay? You can either accelerate the release to being off, or you can slow up the release a bit, okay? It smooths out the compression a little bit. And sometimes the compressor will miss certain peaks depending on how high you go with the sustain knob. So keep that in mind. But right now we're going to turn the sustain all the way off. I want the compressor to release immediately, to start its release immediately, okay? Now we have a curve section here with a number. Now this is from 1 to 8. And 1 shows how sharp the curve is. 2 is a little bit more wider. 3 wider, 4 wider, and so on and so on and so on. It gets wider, and 8 is the widest, okay? And just to show you that, let's go to the help menu, and right here is the compressor curve setting. So 1 is a sharp, 2 is still sharp but a little bit more rounded off, and it gets wider and wider and wider, okay? So now let's listen to the sound and let's adjust threshold, because I've already, as I was explaining this to you, I already set up the compressor the way I'm going to start compression, okay? So let's take a listen. Let's make sure we get some feedback. Now what you see here right now is that the purple color is the original signal. The white is the compressed signal, okay? And this stuff up here just shows how much compression is happening, but I disable that because it just makes it look a little bit messy. I like it when it's like this because it's way more clear. Okay, the other stuff adds a little noise to it. I want to see what's clearly going on. So you can see the purple is the original. Look how much compression is going on with this peak here, because that peak was the one of the loudest ones, so it got compressed more. So that's how the compressor works. Not every peak is going to get treated the same because they all are different. So right now, let's play again. Oh, that low one, see, didn't get touched, and I want to squeeze these down a little bit more. But look at the dynamic range so far. It's not going above 18, and it's actually in between 21 and 18. But that's still a lot of dynamic range. I want to squeeze that even more. All right, let's just see, without hurting the sound too much, let's see how much we can squeeze. That's even better. Now look at the dynamic range. Now it's lessened. So you're seeing, yeah, so right there you're seeing even more headroom now than what was before. We just saved a lot of headroom, and the sound still retains some of its energy and movement. But it is a little bit severe of compression, so let's just bring up the meter to about 20, 22. There we go. Now you can feel it again. And right there is how you compress a signal. That shows you that sometimes you need that room for another sound. So maybe another sound you have. Oops, let me mute this. Sorry, guys. And let me pause that just so we can see the graph there. But anyway, if you have another sound and the other sound needs to be slightly louder than this one, That's why you want to control the dynamic range of a specific signal, because you might need the room for another sound to show itself, to let it know it's there. Okay. And you can do that with any track and any sound you want, a kick drum or whatever. You use the compressor to control the dynamic range. Okay. So I hope you guys learned something today, and please comment, like, and subscribe. It helps a lot. Yeah, and I'm gonna bring out another video, okay, on the noise gate section and side chaining and a little bit of the saturation. So anyway, guys, this is Nikk Bled. Okay, peace.